Hi guys, happy holidays. Welcome to the Social Networking Effect channel. My name is Daniel.
My name is Jonathan.
And today we're going to be talking about a little
rare occasion.
Yeah. Basically the joining of two strangers through social media, and then developing a platonic relationship or a friendship. Let's call it just a friendship. And well, that's basically what we're going to be talking about. So, Jonathan, who is this girl? Let's start with that.
Well, from what I know, she's been one of the longest supporters, but one of the only supporters from 2010 that has stuck around. I've met a lot of people over the years. Her name's Bailey, and it's just like I said, it's the perception of her that I know. But I'm actually looking to meet her after Thanksgiving. And it's been a long time coming, and it's been half a decade plus. So I'm curious to know how this will turn out, because like anything, on my end, I've done a lot of things to make this possible, and really it was me building this whole movement that you, the viewer, supports, but also knowing that she was the first person that actually impacted directly through my work, and that's when I kind of realized, wow, this is a deep project I got here, and then I ended up affecting other people in the process positively. And with her support throughout the years, I saw that I was able to influence a lot of people on all levels of life, and all pay grades and statuses. And I would say it stemmed from that, but knowing that she was the first person to actually influence me.
Wow, okay, and that's pretty interesting because you've had this movement going on for about 6 years, and in a way, she is kind of one of the reasons why this movement is where it's at.
Yeah.
So, what's the motive?
Okay, see, well, here's the thing. Like I said, the motive was really, I created the social networking effect in general to show how we were connected, to show her that, hey, this is what happens when you use social media the right way or the wrong way. And I didn't realize that I was going through it myself, but it was like I was teaching myself through teaching her, and I guess, over time it was like she took my own advice, and I needed to take my own advice as it came, but I didn't. And, as I was going through what I called the social networking effect and seeing the impacts negatively, she literally would call me, check up on me, make sure I was straight, and even when I didn't believe, that she supported me when I was against my own self, and I wanted to quit, she would always say, hey, John, no, you got a purpose, you're impacting people, you're supporting people, you motivate, not just her, but also millions of others that have viewed my work, from anti-bullying campaigns and my ATL, and things like that, and I guess really it was just to show her that I cared, and that I wasn't just someone talking. I actually could produce work that will not only inspire her, but anyone that gets involved with my movement, and I've been able to show that. But I guess me just knowing that, okay, well, hey, I know everything that I do, she's watching, or everything that I do, she's gonna be proud of. And when people didn't believe in me, she was like my go-to. So when people thought I was crazy, delusional, when they thought I was, on the verge of losing my mind, it was just I was misunderstood. But she understood, and I'm just glad that she was one of those indirect people that support it, till this day.
Yeah, and what's funny is when you first told me the story, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was not the best idea, mainly because you'll see on TV shows like Catfish where it doesn't work out, or or she's just not what you perceive.
And that's the thing about social media. It's a very powerful thing. And it's to me, it's like checks and balances. Before you make a move, you gotta understand who you're dealing with. You gotta understand their personas, their perceptions, and what exactly they can bring to the table. Because like I've said many times before throughout the years, no matter what I do, I always let people know that everyone that I connect with has a purpose. And I would say Bailey kind of taught me that very, very clearly, and was like, hey, do you, be great. And she never held me back, never said, oh, if you don't do this, she was always there, and even though she wasn't there physically, she showed more interest in people that even us, would communicate with, even through telephone down the street. You know, and that's when I kind of came to the conclusion, like, okay, well, hey, if they can't do it and she can do it, I see where the importance lies.
Yeah, she sounds like a real special girl. So, like, how did your family? Did you ever tell your family, or how did your family feel about this relationship?
Well, you know, I would say that what they didn't find out. I would say maybe 2-3 years later.
Okay.
You know, when I got to college, that's when they found about the time they found out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was just one of those things where, you know, people literally was like, "Are you really going to see this woman?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You know, I'm like, "I'll do whatever it takes." And, you know, people really thought I was joking, but no, when I actually had connects in Los Angeles, you know, reach out and say, "Hey, you want to come?" You know, and I was like, everything was, you know, was going to be covered. You know, I had all that straight, had the dates, had the times, all of that. You know, and it fell through because of college. And, you know, I was very distraught because I worked very hard, you know, to really make this stuff happen. And, you know, that was just one of my things that I wanted to do. And it couldn't happen. And every single year as I go on, I mean, I would tell her, "Hey, I'm coming. This is the dates." She'll figure it out. And then I fall through on my end. But this time, it's different, you know. And you know, like I said, you know, I've built literally a potential global empire for social media awareness. You know, and I just to have her support is a very, very, you know, awesome honor and a blessing, because, you know, you really don't get that kind of genuine support where, you know, when I had money, you know, she stayed the same. When I was dead broke, she stayed the same and wanted to support. You know, people don't do that nowadays, you know, and I guess me just giving my all to the movement and, you know, showing people that I do care, you know, and that there's no ulterior motive, there's no, you know, malice towards people and hurting them, you know, and doing what I'm doing. It was just to help people. And I think, you know, she respected that, you know, and just knowing that I can connect with people, you know, in her own state, you know, and seeing how we all connected, and, you know, just knowing that, you know, you're my brother, you know, went to school with some of her family members, ironically, in Clark, Atlanta, you know, and that's when I really was like, okay, this is real, it's legit, this ain't no catfish, you know, because I had to get clarification first, you know, and even my brother didn't like it. You know, I mean, but of course, you know, I'm his twin brother, you know, so he really was just looking out for me. But I told him, I said, "You gotta trust me."
And, you know, this is really a great example of how your movement came to be, and also how it shows how people have unified together by your movement. You know what I mean? Without, you know, what was your first hashtag?
All started with a hashtag.
Yes, you know, without that hashtag, you guys probably would have never met.
No,
right?
we would have never met, and I never would have done this movement. And, you know, like I said, I was getting bullied at the time, you know, so I was dealt with, you know, that kind of stuff, personal issues. And, you know, social media was like my outlet. But I found someone that could support, you know, through thick and thin, you know, and, you know, it just really satisfied me to know. And, like, people would just call me crazy when I was, you know, down and out, had nothing, you know, was like, drowned from reality. Bailey was the one that pulled me back in and was like, "Hey, you know, have faith in yourself, you know, like start reading the Bible, you know, really get a grounding and understanding, you know." And I mean, I gained my faith again, you know, because of stuff like that, you know. And I mean, you know, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but, you know, like I said, that's the new standard nowadays, and that's why, you know, when you look at our other videos, this is why we do what we do. You know, to show that, you know, you can connect to anybody in the world and they can have an influence on you people right down the street can't even have. You know, and when you understand someone psychologically, you are entering a new type of, you know, communication. It's no longer physical. And I honestly think if you have a mental connection with somebody and you can, you know, articulate that fluently and show with your actions that you actually care, you know, to me that holds more weight than any physical connection ever will, because that comes and goes. But mental stability and connection, to me, that lasts longer, and I've proven that.
Wow. And let's see. So, when exactly are you going to be meeting her? I know it's going to be a little bit after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, after Thanksgiving.
So,
I mean,
you excited? Like, what's gonna?
You know, I mean, you know, like I said, I've learned, you know, to just, you know, take it as it comes. You know, I mean, yeah, I have my viewpoints because of what I see on social media, you know, from the conversation space and things like that. I mean, but, like, my viewpoints of, you know, what to expect is what she's told me, you know, honestly, you know. And I mean, I honestly believe what she says, and, you know, I mean, everything else adds up, you know, I mean, and I know she wouldn't do what she, you know, meet up with me if she didn't feel comfortable, or, you know, if she didn't really trust me, You know, so I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I know I got a lot to lose, you know, but I mean, it's just one of those things where I hope that, you know, her expectations of me, you know, or I mean, what she thought. But this is my first time publicly talking about, you know, this experience and just knowing that it's going to be filmed. You know, so I'm curious to know from her side and her point of view how she feels about it, and of course, you guys will know how I feel about it right now. But you know, like I've said, that's the social networking effect. You know, I started December 5th, 2010, and you know, I mean, we're going up on what's the 6th year, so I'm excited to see, you know, how this turns out. And you know, I mean, yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Well, just, you know, a little advice, you know, man to man. You know, you can't, you know, when you see her, you know, there's gonna be a lot of emotions. I understand that. But you know, don't be
macho man.
Maybe no macho man. You know, just maybe one tear. I'll give him one tear, maybe two. That second tier gotta be.
But the funny thing though about it, right? All my donors, I know they're gonna watch this. All my donors, all my sponsors, endorsements, everything. You know, they always say, John, when that day comes, we want to see the video because we know the reason and we know the purpose. You know, of course, you want to influence the world. You know, I want to impact people positively, show them, save lives. You know, but where it all started, of course, the genesis. You know, everybody really wants to see how that's going to be. I don't even know how it's going to be because, you know, I've been working for this, you know, just to get this experience to see how, like, wow, when you keep a promise to somebody and say, I'm going to meet you one day. And then end up creating a...
And that's a very big promise.
Yeah, very big.
These people, these two have been far apart.
Like thousands.
Like, you know, thousands of
like California, you know, like West Coast, East Coast.
Yeah, so that's a very big distance. So for you to, you know, stand by your promise, you know, that's very commendable.
You know, I mean, that's one thing I tell people. I'm all about actions, you know, and not words. So, I mean, that's one thing I've, you know, valued myself on, and anybody that is given to the movement, you know, that many have supported, you know, supported me and my roommate with this, you know, with this equipment and things like that. They understand that when I do something, I say I'm going to do it. You know, and the whole goal for this was to just, you know, not only show her, but others, you know, that when you follow your dreams and you write them out and you speak positivity into the world and you plan accordingly, you know, that anything's possible, you know, but this one last goal of mine, you know, before I told myself, before I make it big, whatever I do, I want to meet, you know, Bailey. And, you know, I mean, my parents, you know, eventually they had support because they were just like, okay, we know he's going to buy the book. Like, whether it's he does it by himself or, you know, we support him or not, you know, I'm going to do it. And they've realized that even with this movement, you know, I started this when I was, 17 years old? You know, so, I mean, of course, you know, it's like, when not to support, you know, and I mean, I'm just glad that they support as well, you know, and I mean, like I said, you know, they want to meet Bailey, you know, but some of my other family's going to meet her first, and I mean, you know, from there we'll see what happens, you know, but I mean, the whole point of this was to just, you know, give positivity and show her that, you know, I'm about actions and not just words, and you know, I mean, that's what my movement's based off of. You cannot get this far and do what I've done off of just words, and you know, I mean, I've paid the price dearly. You know, personally, but I mean, you know, that's just temporary because what I know is long lasting, is that I kept the promise, and you know, that will be remembered more than just, oh, I want to meet somebody.
Yeah, you know, this story is very interesting. I just love, like, it's just an interesting plot. It just seems like it came out of a movie almost. And you know, I hope you guys, you know, kick it off and you know, really get to know each other, because you know, it's.
I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah,
you know, anything's possible. Especially with, you know, knowing the stuff that I've already done already. You know, reaching from the top down to the bottom. You know, I mean, I've seen it all, done it all, traveled the world. You know, in this process to make this happen. You know, so I mean, he's seen it. You know, he's heard me talk from, you know, the beginning of the school semester about how I want to meet. He probably was like, this guy is crazy, who is he? You know, but I mean, I'm glad that he's been...
But, I finally...
You know, I mean, but I'm glad he respects it. He's seen firsthand that the effort, how it works, the things that I do to make it happen. And, you know, like I said, you know, I mean, when I see her after Thanksgiving, from there, no one can say that I don't keep my word, because that will be the top of the top. And actually, that was on my list of things to do 6 years ago. So I mean, you know, hey, actions. Gotta believe it.
keep your promises. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This is just a little insider on our Jonathan's life and what's going on really with the movement. So thank you for watching once again. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below. Tell us what you think about this story. It's a great story. And also remember to visit our social media, TSNE 2015. That's on Twitter.
And then also Facebook, The Social Networking Effect, where you can support and read. And we also want to give a special shout out to Raquel and University of Maryland. She wrote a great piece on the effects of social media and how my movement impacted her and how her perception of me altered her thinking. And then when she found out the truth, what was her viewpoint after and during. And it's called The Addiction or Conviction. So please view that on www.thesocialnetworkingeffect.com. It's a great piece. Might as well read it and check it out. Thank you so much.
And also remember to have a great holiday and stay safe.